Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today I've got another weekly planning routine video for you. Super excited to be sharing more of these this year. You all really seem to like them. These are all essential planning things that I do to get organized every week, so I am happy to keep filming them and sharing them. They are super fun. So in this video, I am getting all set up for the week ahead, which is the week of January 9th. In this video, you will get to see me check in on how things went from last week, set up my goals in my MakseLife planner for the week ahead, create a weekly overview spread. This week I'm actually going to be using an Erin Condren Hourly planner. Super excited. I will talk more about that later. Plus set up for Monday in my Daily Duo. And now I'm also going to be checking in a little bit more with my monthly planners. I'm going to try and show you everything, but I am also going to try and move through this a little quickly. Last week when I was kicking things off for the new year and also planning in a new planner format like that I've never used before, which was the horizontal MakseLife, it definitely took me a little bit longer, but also I had been just coming off like a stickering break, so I didn't really have my juices flowing yet. So I am gonna see if I can sort of move a little bit more quickly this week. I will let you know how long this takes me. Towards the end of the video, I will try and tally it all up and add everything together. It's actually Sunday morning while I'm doing this. It is our double birthday party date, so my husband has already left with the two little ones to drop the baby off with his mom and then to take my son to the birthday party he has to go. I've got like a little over an hour before I need to go pick up my daughter from Hebrew school and take her to her birthday party. So it is the perfect time to get going with this. If I don't finish it now, I will come back and finish it later. I did already check in with my weekly action items. I actually filmed that as a reel, so you can check that out on Instagram if you want. I just kind of explained that, going through my process each week, taking a look at the list to see what's going on, but I do want to just check back in with this, check in with my habits for the week, and do my reflections as the starting point, and then we can jump into next week. So I've got my Moxie markers here where I'm going to be using that for the week ahead. I just want to mark a couple of things here. So I didn't actually end up booking the ski weekend, but we did decide that we definitely want to do it. So next week I guess I did the research then. Technically all I wrote down was research. So I guess I did that, but I definitely want to make sure I book that for next week. So I'm just going to jump in and write that down really quick. Then this is sort of the practical side of checking in, and then we'll get to the more, routine, touchy-feely side in just a minute. So the money transfer, we need to wait on that because we're still figuring out the basement thing. So that is gonna be something that we wait more than a week on. So I'm not gonna put that in for next week. And then this one I do need to do. Okay, and then the other thing to note is that we're going into Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and there's no school on Monday. And we actually already have a lot of plans for this weekend, so that's good as well. As far as how things went with my routine, I can just grab oh my gosh, by the way, look how cute this spread turned out. I still need to write in my dinner for tonight, which I will do. I typically plan Sundays meals with the week we're going into just because of when we buy our groceries, but like look how amazing this spread looks. I'm so obsessed with this. Anyway, on to the habits here. I'm all like caught up in checking this one out. I didn't really do so great with the stretch breaks because Monday, Wednesday, and Friday were really the days that I was like most concerned with, and Monday wasn't even a regular day this week, and I didn't really do it Wednesday or Friday. I was really good. I'm really good at moving around when the kids are home. I'm like not really good at doing that when I'm by myself. The kids' routines, we jumped back in. Everything went really well. I did a decent job with bedtime, had 2 nights where I was reading. Screen time going pretty well. Morning time, I slept in this morning, but I'm totally fine with that because honestly, I had 3 nights in a row where the kids were up in the middle of the night, and like my kids are not babies. That's not normal for us, and I was just so exhausted, so I don't mind that. Okay, I did this, but I need to follow up again. And that's done. If you entered my last giveaway of Planmas for the Erin Condren Family Organizer, please go back and check that video to see if you won, because I am looking for the winner of that video and I replied to that person in the comments. So please go check that. All right, that is kind of all I need to check in with here. We can talk about how things went in my reflections notebook. For my wins this week, I think the wins were just, we were able to jump jump back into the school year and our routines really successfully, and I feel like I got so much done this week and really caught up. It's like working, it's like school routines, return to planning, and the honestly like just diving in and taking action. And that one, the Club Moxie topic for this month was just like about taking action and just starting, even if it's not going to be perfect. So I feel like that's like a really great one to highlight as a working for right now. In terms of things that are not working, I think it's just, I'm going to switch to a smaller pen tip so I can write a little bit more here. So I think really what I want to focus on is, so I wrote, just saying move more doesn't make it happen. And I actually have an idea, which I'm going to move into the adjustments. I guess that would have worked as a lesson too. But one of the reasons that I've decided to use the hourly this week is so that I can kind of like do like a little bit of pre-time blocking. Not like full as much as I do in my daily duo, because again, I don't want to repeat things, but I want to actually try and schedule in some of those stretch breaks and different things, like thinking about things ahead of time, and see if I can also use you know what, which I'm not going to say the name because it'll start talking to me, and schedule in some like reminders to just like get up and do a little stretch or something like that. So that's kind of it for reflections for the week. I'm going to color code this and then we can keep going. Great, so I've got my reflections. I've also got a few things highlighted here and also a few things highlighted in my spread from last week so that I feel all ready to set up for the week ahead. So I'm just grabbing my stickers from Lexi Kylie Designs to label these at the top. I'm gonna do it the same way this week. This is my week 2, and it is the week of Jan 9th to 15. And I'm just gonna put these stickers in right there, although that week 2 one is super crooked. Then before I dive into my weekly actions, I actually wanna take a look at my monthly setup. If you have not seen this plan with me, this is already up. You can check it out. And I'm trying to make a more formal part, like a more formal check-in with, particularly, I've always checked in with my calendar, but checking in with my dashboards as well, a little bit more of a formal part of my planning routine so that I can fully utilize all of the amazing spreads that I set up here and like really think through if this is a thing that, like what's working and what's not working from this. So jumping into my schedule here, I do realize that I accidentally did like miscount the days, but I laid out the whole schedule like this. So I'm just gonna go with it for the YouTube. So you get kind of like a slightly more compressed schedule here. But this video is actually gonna be my functional flip through from last year. So flipping through my Agendio and the other things that I used for weekly functional planning last year. If you're interested in that, by the time this video goes up, that will already be up. And then this video is probably gonna be this video, so another weekly planning. And then I'm fairly certain that this will be a haul, but I might just not write that one in. So I'm gonna go over here to my YouTube page. Nope, to my YouTube page. We've got, this one is actually already uploaded, but that video is actually just up today while I am filming, so I'm not gonna track anything with that, but I will put in the functional flip. Okay, so I just took a little flip through that and just had to think for a moment. I'm not gonna write anything else down in there for right this second. You will probably see me check in with that one more time to write a few more things down after I'm a little bit further into my process, but now we can start with my goals. So again, I actually think that for this month, I do want to try and check things off on the monthly spread. I don't always do that, but I think it's gonna help me at the beginning of the year, especially. So we did, this one I have like a little tracker, just going through some of these concrete task ones. The reason that I don't always check things off in here is because some of these are like concrete tasks and some of them aren't, and I don't always use different symbols to differentiate that. I did last week in my weekly and I really like that. I think I might like carry that going forward. Okay, so I think that's all of the ones that I can check off from my monthly goals there. So let's go on. I'm gonna start with the fun and recreation category. I did do a focus last week. I don't think I'm gonna do focus areas this week, but I actually think that I wanna draw in some boxes this week. Okay, so I just drew lines in and I'm gonna highlight when I pull out that color to work on that category. So I did fun and recreation first, and then while I was doing that, I also did just set up my reflections. Same categories as always: wins, working, not working, lessons, and next week, but just like drew in some bubbles for this week. So for this week, we've already got our Saturday plans our Sunday plans all figured out, but we need plans for, well, we have kind of plans, we have semi plans on Saturday, and we'll also need plans for Monday since it's a holiday weekend. So I do want to just note that. My husband is off work on Monday, and so my husband's off work on Monday, everything else, all the things. So we are good there. And then the other big thing then is, of course, that I want to book the ski weekend, since I was talking about that before. This is like, it's slightly complicated to book because I need to like call the place about the kids' lessons and stuff. It's not just like book online, although that is part of it. So anyway, so that I will take care of. And that's all I'm gonna do for fun and recreation. So I'm actually gonna swing over to spiritual and personal growth because we have a like school planned day of service for the Friday that my big kid has a half day for Martin Luther King Day, and I'd like to take her to go and participate in that. And I'm pretty sure I have to volunteer for that anyways. It's like part of my kind of PTA stuff, and we also have a PTA meeting. So just PTA meeting and any work from that, and then just participate in the day of service. Just those two things. I think it'll be really nice to be able to do that with the big kid, and the little ones will be in school, so doubles as like good bonding time with the kiddo as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go down to physical environment next. If you don't know, if this is your first time watching me plan in a MakseLife and you're wondering why I jump all over the place, is I like to start with things where things are pressing or where I already know what's going on. It helps me just get the juices flowing to start with the categories that are easier or that are the focus area rather than going in order. So that I really like to do. Okay, so I need to, the basement guy, he wants to have a call. There's so much back and forth on this. I also would like to drop off some donations that I've got in the basement that are just like taking up space right now. And then we have 2 habits, which I'm gonna actually just use the hexagons again for the habits, and I'm just also gonna put them over on this side of the page. Okay, and the 2 habits are the daily clean, which is going to be wiping the tables and putting toys away. And then the other one is no food in the car. My camera just cut out, but I was saying I did just start on the channel finances just a teensy bit, just because I was going through our personal finances as I did my December wrap up. And that is, we use mint.com for that. It's a free online tool that's actually owned by QuickBooks or Intuit, and I really like it. It's a great website. So while I was doing that, I realized I had made like a couple of planner/sticker purchases at the beginning of this year, and I wanted to just make sure I went ahead and got those into my business finances planner, which is not like set up yet, but I went ahead and just put those in as well. So I this will be a perfect time to dive in more deeply to the channel and business finances. I took care of a lot of like personal finance stuff last week, and then the rest of this stuff that's on my monthly goals where it needs to happen later in the month. We're not there yet with the quarterly taxes are due next week and or the week after this, and the other stuff we have to wait on. So I can start doing that. And that's all I'm going to put for finances. Honestly, I'm not even going to put low spend. I think for the first time since I've had a planner YouTube channel, I think I may have undershot on ordering stickers. I pretty much stopped buying any kind of sticker kits because of how behind I was on my memory planner, but I also just have not bought enough other stickers, and now I'm feeling like I don't have enough journaling kits and stuff for my functional planner. So I might have to pick up a couple wintry journaling kits. If you've got favorite shops, you can let me know in the comments down below. I obviously love Hello Bitty Paper, Two Little Bees, and Lexi Kylie Designs are probably the three that I use the most for journaling kits. Okay, so that's it. I am gonna let's go up to health and wellness because I do actually know what I want to do here. I still want to keep going with the skincare and bedtime routines. Bedtime at 10 p.m. But for the other one, what I'm gonna say, basically schedule it in and use the timers or use alarms so that I'm not oh, I just forgot. So it'll make it impossible to forget. I do sometimes use timers for time blocking if I'm working on a bunch of different projects at the same time. So it's kind of similar here. I'm just gonna set some alarms as reminders to just get up, stretch, do a 15-minute yoga video, walk around, whatever I wanna do. It's fine, it doesn't have to be a whole thing, and just kind of do it. I think I wanna just get a little more color in here. All right, so that's it for this week. I'm gonna wait on the scheduling stuff this end of the week, and I will wait on the routine inventory too. Let's get this a little bit more established before I tackle the other big thing on my list for the month. Okay, family and relationships, we can swing down here. So we've got the kid routines, which is going well, so I don't feel like I need to expand or quantify anything on that. I want to, let's get a few things set up. This is gonna be a setup week. Okay, one, I wanna try a new show with my husband because I don't feel like we really like anything we're watching right now. And we've been on and off watching Willow, and I don't know. I don't love it. I just don't love it. And I really thought I would. And cause I am such a science fiction and fantasy person, and I have fond memories of the movie as a child, but it's just not doing it for me for whatever reason. But we keep returning to it because there's nothing else on. So maybe we can find something else to watch. If you've got any recommendations, you can leave them down below. It's something I'm looking for, something I can specifically watch with my husband. We're thinking about giving Industry a try, which is a show that we missed. Then I want to book some kind of a date night, out of the house. We haven't done one in a while. We did a lunch date in December. It was really fun, but let's book a date night. And then I also would like to book in a friends night too. A friends something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a night. Okay, so that's really good. We can get some things set up for the weeks to come. Like I said, I was feeling a little bit peopled out at the end of the year with all the holiday stuff, but I'm feeling much better now and feeling like we could see some people. So that's good for family and relationships. Beep beep. Work and learning. Okay, so I gotta do the thing that I didn't do last week. It's not that I didn't want to do it or didn't think about doing it. There was a little bit, the client that I wanted to check in with, there was something else going on that it didn't feel appropriate to ask about future projects at this point. But now it's calmed back down and we're okay. Nothing related to me, just something related to other stuff. And then I've got I'd set up paper tracker, at least for Instagram, as you probably saw while I was flipping through in here. And actually, I did for TikTok as well. I'm not gonna set up the digital trackers yet. I have my class around social media stuff in the week after this. So I want to wait until after that to kind of, and just in case there's like anything good that comes out of that before I spend a bunch of time working on something. But this is a good week to do some just like idea brainstorming, like get a little bit ahead with filming. And then also I've got some pitch stuff that I want to do. And I am going to continue to kind of just like separate these two things. Just they're different streams of work, and I don't know, it just feels appropriate to do. And I realized that I forgot to trace the lines like I said I was going to on a lot of these, so I will go back and do that. All right, last up, we've got the personal category, and I am going to say I would like to have 2 calendar and scheduling sessions this week. I feel like that'll be, and like admin sessions this week. I feel like I've got enough admin stuff going on that I will need that. And then just all of the planning routines. And checking in with the monthly stuff, including content and meal. I might even just like doodle that down. What was this other one supposed to be? Oh, check in with my monthly. That is a newer formal part. I'll put that in. Content stuff should really go in there, but that's fine. Whatever. Still adjusting to having that not in this category. I colored that in really nicely without the stencil going back. All right, so that is it for my weekly actions. I think the focus for this week is going to be on the health and wellness and like committing to those timers. And like that way, if I ignore it, if I ignore the timers, I've got no excuse because the timers are set. I know what they're for, and it's not like I can be like, oh, I just forgot. I got so bogged down in what I was doing, which is a frequent thing that happens, excuse that I use. I don't really know how to phrase that, but this way, like I know they're set, so I have no excuse and I can choose to ignore them, but I will have no illusions about what I'm doing. And again, I liked having that little key focus for the week up here last week, so I'm gonna just doodle it in the same color, and I'm gonna wait for that to dry a second, and I'm gonna write set those timers. So I had a little bit of extra space here, and I decided since I'm, making such a concrete goal, I am just gonna put a timer check-in right here. So like, did I do it? Let's just specify that is a thing that I wanna reflect on. So that I can add in a little custom section for this week. And then that is it for my weekly actions. So now I am ready to start my weekly overview. As I mentioned for this week, I'm gonna be using the Erin Condren Hourly planner. I'm really excited for this. This is such a throwback. So if you have been at my channel for a super, 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 super long time, like since the beginning, you may recall that this is actually the planner that I was in as my main planner when I first started my YouTube channel. This is actually the planner that led to my discovery of the hashtag planner community. So I have a lot of fun memories of this. I have not used this in a number of years, and I'm really excited to do this. I also think just with what my weekly focus is for the week, that this is gonna work really well. This is gonna be a completely different style spread than what I did last week with the horizontal and the journaling kit. I do have some stickers pulled out. I'm not planning to do like a full-on stickering spread. I've also got a lot of markers and some washies, and the washies, like the color palette theme, as this is the Color Blends colorway of the Erin Condren planner. They were kind enough to gift this planner to me earlier at the end of last year to try out. So I'm really excited to give this a try, go back to this. And I really love like the color blends. It's really pretty. You can obviously with this colorway cover this whole thing up. You could just use date covers and then there would literally be nothing else to cover up. It's very neutral, even though it has that pop of bright color. But I decided to lean into the color palette. I'm gonna try and do like a simplistic type spread. And I have this Simply Gilded washi that I absolutely love, but it's really hard to match to anything. And this is from the Masterpiece box. It's an older Simply Gilded sub box. And I thought this would be perfect to use in here. It's slightly more muted than the tone, but I think it's gonna be perfect. And I'm really excited to just give that a try and just, you know, see what's going on here and set up an hourly spread. I've also got the stickers. I'm not gonna be doing like full boxes or anything like that, but I thought I might want some of the stickers. So I've got them. I've got a couple of other things pulled out as well. A bunch of different markers in this color palette. I have this theory that teals are very hard to match. I feel like I have so many teal washies, so many teal markers, and none of them ever like are an exact match for what I'm looking for. That is just my theory about teal. Like pinks and purples, I feel like no problem. I can always match them, but for some reason teals, it's just very difficult. So I actually haven't used this planner before, or at least in a while, not since I've been doing stenciling, but it does look like the 0.25, the 1/4 inch spacing is the correct line spacing on this, which means the KDK collab Christian Design stencil is gonna fit perfectly to use all those checklists. So I'm gonna set up the sidebar first, and then we are gonna sketch things out. So for the sidebar, still going with the same kind of stuff that I always do. I need my weekly to-do list, and then I need my habit tracker. So I think I'm just gonna put a little bit of washi down here to get us started. Then we can start with a to-do list. So what I do for my weekly task list is I grab my MakseLife, I go through all of the weekly actions that we just set up, and I grab anything that is a concrete task. So nothing that's like an appointment, nothing that's like touchy-feely, nothing that's a habit. Just grab out the ones that are concrete tasks. You can do this. When you finish it, you can put a check mark next to it. And that is how I make my weekly task list. Sometimes I do add in other stuff to this. Sometimes I like break down things that I put in there for the goals or split them apart. But that is the basics of how the weekly task list works. And I'm not sure how many I have for the week so far. Also, that is super not centered. So I'm just gonna start with that and then we will circle back. So that's it for my weekly task list. So underneath that, I'm gonna do some habit trackers. So I just found a bunch of habit trackers in my save thing, and I think I'll go with 3 for the week. You don't need to get, like I said, if stuff is working, I don't feel the need to like check in with it quite as much all the time. I mean, some people, if you find it helpful, by all means do it, but I just don't find that it really adds that much to like the way I live my life or whether I do things or not. It's better for me if I just check in with like a couple of new things rather than all of the things that are already working. So the biggest one is going to be the setting the timers. I want to try and do this like Monday through Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Then the next one I will do is the daily clean, and then finally I'll lump them together because I do them like right one back together, like back to forth. So I'm gonna say like skincare and bedtime. So just kind of make it into a whole evening routine, because that's kind of what happened with like my morning stuff, you know. And now I just write like wake up at 6:30, but that like actually just means my whole morning routine, and I don't need to like split that apart anymore. So maybe that'll start to happen with the bedtime as well, which I feel like I'm getting better about. I still don't hit the bedtime every day. I did hit the skincare and like the dental routine every day last week though. Okay, so that is kind of it. The only thing I don't have in here is like a notes for next week, but that's not really enough space for that. So I guess that's just gonna have to live in my MakseLife for this week, which is fine. I'm gonna cap that with a little bit more washi. Then not something I usually do, but I am gonna go ahead, and I thought this would be fun to just go ahead and highlight where we are. Again, I will never understand why all of these calendars are not Monday start since the weekly stuff is. All right, now I am ready to go on and break things apart how I'm intending to break things apart for this week in this weekly overview, except for that it is time for me to go pick the kiddo up and do the whole birthday thing. So I will be back later tonight to wrap this up. Okay, so now I am ready to set up the day by day. First, I want to go through and put in like a couple of time sensitive appointment type things on here before I do my more time blocking thing, because I just want to make sure that like if anything is at a specific time, like I have a PTA meeting tomorrow, that gets on here and like in the right spot. So I have a PTA meeting tomorrow at 10. I think I'm going to grab one of these flag stickers for that. They have a tendency to be about 90 minutes, just like an hour of meeting and half an hour of chit-chatting. Then the other thing is that on Friday, my big kid has a half day. Oh, I guess I could have used one of these PTA meeting stickers. Maybe I will just go ahead and cover that up. I already wrote it. That's really a shame. Oh well, okay. And then, okay, like I said, we've got a half day. I am gonna put that right here since that is when the half day will start. And I'm just gonna put that it's just the little one. And then, as I think I already mentioned, the school is having, or the whole district is having a day of service. And I want to take my big kid to that. I'm not sure exactly how long we'll be there, but I'm gonna put it in like that, and we'll be hanging out the rest of the afternoon until we have time for pickup. Anyways, okay. Then on Saturday we're doing something with my mom, but I don't know what yet. And then on Sunday we have a super busy day. So my daughter has Sunday school. And then we are gonna pick her up, and I'm gonna grab one of these meal stickers from the Simply Gilded pack. And we actually have lunch reservations with my husband's grandma, so the kids' great grandma, and we are going to this like super fancy brunch. Not like, I mean, it's fine for kids. So we're doing that, and then after that, again, continuing on, my big kid has a birthday party after that, but they're like in the same area. So all of a sudden we got back to school year, and all of a sudden there's just like a million birthdays, parties every weekend. I don't know. In the preschool it makes sense because they have like more than one class for each age, and they're like split by age, so the birthdays are more compressed. But in the public school, there's like no reason why the birthdays shouldn't be evenly distributed throughout the year. And she's had some other birthdays, but now I just feel like it's nonstop. Okay, so that's like all the concrete appointments. I have obviously some tasks that I'll need to schedule in for specific days, but I want to start by running like through, this is gonna be kind of like ideal week situation, I guess, like, you know, what I try and do every day and all that kind of stuff. So I try and wake up around 6:30. I guess actually I try and wake up before that. I try and be like out of bed and moving on my routine by 6:30. I'm usually up before that. This morning I legitimately slept till 7, like I was asleep. Which is very unusual, but like I said, we've had a couple of rough nights with the kids. That kind of sleeping in doesn't bother me, like if I really need it. It's just like when I lay in bed for a super long time after being awake, that's what I have been trying to cut back on. Then we have got the carpool and bus time, which I'm gonna just mark this with the thicker washi. There's nothing that's happening at that time. And I'll still do that on Friday, even though it's a half day. It just won't be actually the bus. It'll just be the carpool because the little ones will be I just ran and grabbed my washi tray because I felt like I wanted a couple more rolls of the 5mm. Usually my husband takes the little ones in the morning and I just do the bus drop with my big kid. Otherwise it actually starts earlier than that. So for actually, and then on to the meal planning. So actually for meal planning, I want to go ahead and write it in to the time of day, which is 6 that we usually have dinner. And now it's Sunday night while I'm filming this part, so I have actually done my meal plan. So Thursdays we have takeout and watch TV. So I'm gonna put that in there, and then I can write really small what we have, and we do that after the kids have gone to bed. That is our usual Thursday night. So that is the meal plan for the week. I do like writing it in, like, this is definitely not an ideal meal plan situation for me because I like the way it looks with like the bolder font. I don't know, I just always really enjoy having it in my planner, even though it's obviously, well, maybe not obviously, it's on my fridge too. I've been using the MC Squares like dry erase calendar that I got, but I do really like having it in my planner too. But this is definitely not the favorite way that I've done it ever, but it will work. And I'm gonna add in like a little bit of color around it. I don't need that space. The kids usually go to bed at 7:30, so I'll have space down here if I want to write anything else in, you know, that we're doing that night. Like if I plan to work on planner stuff or work on work stuff or watch TV or read or whatever. If I feel like putting it in, I can. Okay, so that's the meal plan. And then also on Thursday, before I forget, because I totally was going to, piano lessons on Thursday. I will do my work, or start my work at least, before PTA, and then I will have lunch when I get back. So I'll be like up and moving around and all of that. So I don't feel like I necessarily need any kind of stretch break there. But I think maybe like 2:30 would be a good time to schedule in my stretch break. I can play around with the times and see if, you know, something works better for me than others. So I feel like in the afternoon especially is going to be good because the mornings tend to be when I'm like most productive work-wise anyways. And then basically I will just kind of do my work, and then when I get back from the meeting I'll have lunch, and then in the afternoon I will have to finish my work, and when I'm done my work, you know, after that I can do like all my regular admin and all that kind of stuff. And then, so on Tuesday I have the baby home with me. It looks like it's gonna be like pretty cold, so I don't think I'm gonna want to like go out and walk or anything, but maybe I can do like a little like yoga video, or we have like these mommy and me yoga videos that we do sometime. So maybe I'll put that in for then, and we'll do like whatever other activities. We usually just kind of chill on Tuesdays, and on Thursdays is when we typically do more like errands and stuff like that. She will nap. And while she is napping, I can get some stuff done. I think I might want to do my like calendar session on Tuesday, and then have another one on Thursday and give that a try, and take care of like a lot of the check-ins and texting people and all that kind of stuff, and maybe also do some of the finances. Okay. Then on Wednesday, and maybe do another little stretch break on 3 before we pick the kids up. I think I'll color them all in this soft teal color. Okay. Then on Wednesday, do some filming in the morning. And then maybe I'll do a pre-lunch stretch break. And if I need to adjust these, I can, but I want to make sure that I'm doing them every day and like actually I'm gonna try and set my timers at the beginning of the day, like in the morning every day. Like after I do the bus, I can go ahead and set the timers for the day. I don't really know what I'm gonna do in the afternoon, so I'm gonna leave that blank. But yeah, okay. So then on Thursday, we have our cleaning people come. So I do the sheets and the towels in the morning. I get the laundry started and do like a big tidy. So on Wednesday we can add in that it's a lunch prep day. We'll do errands on Thursday, and I'm fairly certain that I want to go to Trader Joe's. Maybe the library too, we'll see. And then that'll be like kind of, we'll be walking around and stuff this morning, so I don't have to worry about anything there, like stretch break wise. And if it's nice, we'll probably walk around at the shopping center for a while. We'll see. And if it's cold, I'm not doing that. Then we'll have a lunch. I don't know why I wrote break, but whatever. And then the baby will take her nap. And I'm going to do another. Of course, I pick this day to do the stencil on the day where it's like hardest to trace on there. Take care of any scheduling stuff, etc. And then I can do we'll do a stretch break before we do pickup. Friday. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet on Friday because I just don't know what I'm gonna do yet on Friday because I like to wait to schedule that till later in the week because I don't really, I like to see what I'm gonna get done, but I think probably doing a stretch break before lunch is a good idea. I guess I probably won't eat lunch until my daughter gets back, but I'm not sure, so we'll see. I guess it actually depends on how hungry I am because she won't get lunch at a half day. Other last like little things is we will have to do groceries and then laundry always on Sunday. Lunch prep, meal prep for the week on Sundays. And also I guess I'll put the dinner in and out what we're gonna have for dinner for the weekend. I plan this Sunday goes with the following week. So I planned last Sunday or the Sunday we just had this dinner, and then while I'm doing that goes with that because that's how the grocery shopping works because we shop on Sundays. So I think that's it for the weekly overview. Again, I will continue to fill this out throughout the week, but I think this is kind of cool. It's like a little time sketch of the week, very different sort of spread and setup. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna push that out to the side and I'm just gonna grab my monthly planner one more time, check this out, and see if there's anything else that I want to take care of here. So I will do the couple of days of line a day memory keeping while I have this out right here so that we're through like 6, 7, and 8. So that's all I've got for right now in my monthly. I do want to write the piano homework down, but I don't have it in front of me now, so I will have to add that in later. I don't need that. What I actually need is, got too many Erin Condren planners on my desk right now. I got a little confused. What I actually need to do is check out my Daily Duo. So here was my weekend stuff. This was to mark the restaurant we went to. I just didn't write it in because I didn't know where we were gonna go. So I'm gonna just put that in. This got done, this got done. All the Sunday usual things got done. I'm not gonna like go back and back plan, but that is what the day looked like. And now here is Monday. I pulled out like a bunch, in addition to the washies that I had that matched like the weekly spread I did, I also pulled out like a bunch of different plaids. I just thought that would be fun. I think I'm gonna go with this one first. I was like hoping that it would match the peach a little bit better. I think I'm just gonna cover the peach. Oh, I've already pretty much got my Monday sketched out here. I'm gonna like put in kind of the same thing, but I am gonna make some slight tweaks. Not to my schedule. I'm just meant like of the way I put things in. So. And then where did I put my stretch break? I put it at 2:30. So let's go ahead and I'll use the same circles to do that so that it's nice and consistent and I have that in my mind. regular Monday where I need to get the finances. They should be good because I checked them late last week, but just do like a quick PTA finances check. If you don't know, I'm the treasurer of our PTA, so just get that in order for before the meeting. Got a little plaid washi that matches the big one, so I'll go ahead and use that down here. I'm gonna make here, even though I'll film at night, I much prefer to take pictures during the day, so I'm gonna make like a little picture list here. Okay, so I think that is it for today and also for getting set up for this week. So there is my finished Monday Daily Duo spread and my weekly overview in the Erin Condren Hourly, as well as my MakseLife weekly actions. So we are all ready to go for the week. I hope you enjoyed this week's weekly planning routine. If you have a particular planner that you know that I have, or a particular planning style that you'd like to see in my weekly overview videos, definitely let me know down in the comments down below. My game plan, at least in the beginning part of the year, is to continue to mix it up week to week with my planning style and with what planner I'm using for the weekly overview, kind of going by just whatever I feel like using and whatever I feel like is going to best serve the week. So just going to have a lot of fun with it. I do actually really love this. It's like definitely giving me throwback vibes to my old planning style. But again, that is it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can also check me out on Instagram and TikTok at My Crafty Plans for even more stuff, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.